Welcome back to the Basement Breakdown. Before I release my UFC Paris predictions, which I'm doing with my friend Harrison, I do have a special episode for you guys. One of my subscribers, named the Gambling Phenom, who is the brains behind my Championship 1 parlays, is going to tell us about the doubleheader going on this Friday. For Championship 1, there are 2 cards. I am not very familiar with the fighters on the roster, and I don't really see the reason for me to butcher a bunch of people's names and explain it when I can just have the man himself do it. So without further ado, I would like to dedicate this episode to the Gambling Phenom. Take us away.
Hello there, Basement Breakdown viewers and any fans of the channel. I'm going to be breaking down one Friday fight night, 1, 2, 3 card. Kulab Dam versus what was his name? Felipe Lobo. The first bout one, we got Moises Ilogon versus Linbo Bai. Now, this is a risky fight. Linbo Bai is my prediction. There's not much footage on him. He has 3 fights, 3 wins, but Moises is not very good off his back, and if Linbo Bai manages to get it to the floor early, which I guess he does, he should be able to finish the fight early, relatively early, round 1 or round 2, I'd say. I'd give him a slight edge in his bout, as the Malaysian isn't that efficient and stays on his back. Literally, just that. As for bout 2, we have Dennis Andreev, who will be taking on Eldar Ali Mensaitov. I don't know how to pronounce it that well. Dennis Andreev has fought the better competition and went toe-to-toe with a Filipino savage who is well known in 1SC for his power. He took the man's best strikes, was not KO'd, outstruck the Filipino in the next 2 rounds, but was out-wrestled in the first round due to strength, being able to control him on the floor. The next 2 rounds, he was able to avoid the takedowns very well, and he was taken down once. He got back up and continued to fight it out, and he is pretty decent with good power and decent striking. He should be bigger and stronger than LDR, whose takedown and control game is not that great, and the striking should be better and at a higher pace than LDR's. For bout 3, we have Izaku Ogasawara. My pronunciation might not be the best, but he's the Japanese fighter fighting a Thai in bout 3. This Japanese fighter fought a man with a similar style to his upcoming opponent named Sanit. He fought a man called Ritadet. Even though he lost to Ritadet, he was the one pushing the pace the whole time. He was knocked down in, I believe, round 2 by a head kick, which dropped him. Well, it didn't drop him, actually. He stayed standing on his feet. He maintained his feet and balance here, but was pushed to the floor by a failed clinch attempt right after, and due to being rocked here, took his time getting up, and that caused the count to start. And, well, when you get knocked down in 1SC, you need to get a knockdown back or a finish back to get the win, because even if you do enough, even if you take the next 2 rounds, it's not enough and you need to win. Even if you take 2 out of 3 rounds or 3 out of 3 rounds but got dropped, it's not enough to win. That's how 1FC is. The Japanese fighter fought a man named Ritadet, who has a similar style to Sanit, throws a lot of kicks with the exact same form, has better precision and accuracy than Sanit, and better power in the kicks plus the output of kicks. Ritadet was backing up the whole time against Izaku, who is a forward pressure fighter. He has decent slips and rips. He's able to attack the body, attack the head. He's a decent hunter. As I said, he did keep his feet after being off balance, but got pushed to the floor. Izaku is a dangerous fighter. And Sanit, this is the thing about Sanit, he can be hit. He's not as good as Ritadet. Ritadet's a better version of Sanit. I believe that, I believe that the Myanmar fighter that Sanit fought, Sanit may have lost round 1 it was a close round 1, but he took a little bit more damage in round 1, but found a head kick in round 2, because Myanmar fighters tend to slow down, and this one did at least. What was I going to say? So yeah, he should be able to adapt to this style, as he's fought someone with a similar style already and was adapting mid-fight. He's fighting someone with a very similar style who's not as good this time. I think that he should be able to hunt down and find a finish, maybe. But Izaku has a much better record too. He has 48 wins and 11 losses compared to Sanet's 85 wins and 31 losses. Bout 4, we have Yoshida Kosei. I've got him on mid as my risk assessment because the Japanese fighter has fought the better opponents, and in a kickboxing bout, which this is, he actually holds the advantages as Japanese fighters tend to mainly perform in kickboxing. And this fighter, he is a slippery bastard. He is able to dodge very well, seems to be the sharper fighter, but I do not often see him win by KO or get hit a lot. When he does get hit, his head moves back and he constantly slips the whole fight, telling me he does not like to get hit. And he was taught a avoid damage fight style, slipping strikes. So if he is caught, he may go down, as Japanese chins can be quite untested. Japanese chins aren't always that good and want to see, but the defense is quite good and their ability to slip is off the charts usually. And this fighter's ability to slip is quite good. I do see a decision here, if he cannot get the KO, because, well, it may be a kickboxing bout, but this Thai fighter, he has fought the lesser comp, but he's used to kickboxing gloves. But this Japanese does not like to get hit. One knockdown will end the fight for him. Bout 6, I have Rustam Yunusov over, what is his name again? Don King. I'm scared for Rustam only due to my bias on Don King. But I do mock up Rustam as a mid-confidence fighter in this fight. The reality is Rustam is the better fighter, and Don King was beating a fighter named Yodlek Pet, the Destroyer. His nickname's the Destroyer, who I bet against 2 weeks ago. My fighter technically should have won that fight. His name is Pompech and he fought Yodlek Pet, but he was robbed against Yodlek Pet. He took every single round, all 3 rounds, and he was robbed against Yodlek Pet badly. And yeah, anyways, robberies happen. This is the fight game. What was I saying? I do not consider Yodlek Pet to have skill, just KO power. And Don King was outstriking Yodlek Pet like a lot of fighters that fight Yodlek Pet do. But he slowed down in round 2 a bit and was caught. That's the issue with Don King. He was caught. And now Rustam is a fighter that can snipe like a madman. He's not just a sniper, he's also a pressure fighter that finds his timing pretty well, and catches people. He KO'd Alfie Ponting, and that was a great bet for me. What was I saying? He is an undefeated fighter and a Russian prospect with 13-0 wins. Pretty damn good. He should, I think, be able to land a KO here, maybe, but using his range and technical fighting ability. But Don King may pull off a knockdown and may pull off, well, the upset here. And I feel pretty confident in Rustam. He's 13-0 compared to Don King, who has 79 wins and 18 losses on his career. Don King can be dangerous, though, I advise you. Bout 7, we have Woman, and I do not love to bet on Woman at all, and I will not be betting on this woman. But she should be the better fighter here. Anyways, bout 7, we have Chabakyu, who is a risk I have written down as being a woman. I've never been wrong with Chabakyu, even as a 3-1 underdog in her debut fight with an overrated Thai fighter, an overrated Thai girl. Her last fight was very close, though, I will admit, and a lot of people thought she lost. I thought she did enough to win, but it was close. She holds an impressive record of 58 wins, 6 losses, and almost always fights as the smaller fighter going into her fights. Compare that to Gus Jung, I think that's her name, Gus Jung, who has 29 wins and 11 fights. 29 wins and 11 losses, It could end up being a close fight, but Chabakyu should have more skill and a better pressure forward style that should work in her favor. But I wouldn't put my money on it, and I understand if I lose. Bout 8, we have Kunpon, who I consider mid-safe in this fight, as Kunpon is a sniper and a knee specialist. He has definitely got the reach advantage. He's a tall, lean fighter. He has good clinch work, but also his non-clinch knee. I mean non-clinch knee, as in the kickboxing knee, not a grab you behind the neck, and throw a knee on you, which he does have that too. But his non-clinch knee, when timed well, when opponents pressure forward on him, almost always lands and is very, very spectacular. He usually throws a cross and then drags himself to the opponent to land a knee to the midsection, but lets go last second of the hand that grabs the opponent. he does spam knees in general to the torso. His opponent, Edilson Rodriguez, spends more time showboating like a dumb idiot than he does actually winning fights. He will be showboating even when he's clearly down. I've seen this happen in multiple of his fights, where he thinks he's winning, trying to get the crowd on his back, but he's losing the fights. I don't know why they made this matchup. I'm pretty confident in Kumpon. He's going to be an up-and-comer. And he has the output on his side. They both like to wait for their opponent to come near them, but Kumpon should have the output on his side. Edilson can slip, but his dodging is pretty mid, and he gets caught to the body pretty easily by pressure-heavy fighters. Kumpon is not really a pressure-heavy fighter, but he can be when he needs to be. I think Kumpon isn't stupid. I think he should win this match pretty straightforward. I don't know how Edilson is getting a debut after he lost his last fight outside of the 1FC promotion in a pretty boring and dumb fashion. Bout 9, Ayad Al-Badr. I got him hooked down as mid-safe. He was an underdog in his last fight, which was meant to happen last week, but his opponent cancelled, I'm pretty sure, because he knew he was going to lose. I feel pretty good about Ayad here. Noapet is not as technical, nor has the output to win here. Ayad wins, in my opinion. This is an easier opponent than his last Japanese opponent that was, going to fight him. This should be pretty straightforward. Oh, and I forgot to say, do I have the... No, I don't. Sorry, I apologize. I was looking to see if I had the win ratio started down for the last fight. I don't. Bout 10, Coma. Oh, sorry as well. I forgot to mention, Ayad Al-Badr won for me in his last fight as a 4x underdog against a Japanese fighter who was 10-1, I believe, at the time, and he beat the shit out of the Japanese fighter. Anyways, bout 10, Coma. I have him as a risk. He is... I had Coma to lose his last 2 fights as an underdog against Suo Kim, a Thai savage who fought Rod Tang in his early days. Everyone knows Rod Tang. I had Suo Kim to beat Coma, which he did because Coma has no brain. He has the brain the size of a walnut. What was I saying? Suo Kim also wins a lot for me. He beat 3 people for me as an underdog in a row. He beat Otis Waghorn for me as an underdog. He beat Pan Rit for me as an underdog. And he beat, Coma. He beat Coma as an underdog. Why am I looking for the name? And Coma also lost to Sona Sen in, I believe, his last fight. Yes. I don't know how he loses to him after winning against him before in a previous bout, he wins against him, and then they rematch in 1FC, and he loses to him. But I believe it was at a different weight class where Sona Sen is much more comfortable with the mass put onto his body. He's not weak and doesn't gas out as quick, cutting down the weight. But he couldn't close the distance against Sona Sen. He could not close the distance. He was doing okay in round 1, throwing them leg kicks, and I think he took round 1 maybe. I have to rewatch the fight. But round 2 and 3, he got absolutely dogged on. And he did not close the distance. He was feeling the pain coming at him. He just wasn't there. I don't trust. I had Sona Sen to win that one as well as an underdog. I don't trust Coma at all. He should probably be the favorite in this fight though. What was I going to say? Coma is small and stocky and could not deal with the length of Sona Sen in the second fight, and added mass, as I said. But in this fight, he should be able to use his power and leg kicks here to close the gap between Chrisana and himself, and he should be able to break Chrisana, because Chrisana's not a fighter that moves a lot. Chrisana's a fighter who stands relatively still and motionless, and likes to strike bang for bang and see if he wins or not that way. So, I don't see Chrisana winning this fight, but... I do see a world where Chrisana can win this fight for sure, because Coma Whoop just might not do enough. But I think Coma Whoop should win this fight. He's lost twice as an underdog. I think they're feeding him an easier opponent this time to get a win. Opponent who stands still and is kind of tailor-made for him. But he is stupid. He has a bird brain in his nest, and I don't trust him at all. He has 53 wins and 16 losses compared to Chrisana's 71 wins and 28 losses. So it might end up being a close fight. Anyways, bout 11, we have Deadwan Lek. This fight I have labeled as a risk. He has 55 wins and 15 losses. Truth is, he will probably be an underdog, and the underdog that I want to pick in this situation. But he has been fighting savages as of recently. The reason why he lost 3 times in a row in ONE FC as of recently, because he's been fighting monsters. He fought Azadullah Imam Ghazaliev, who I just picked last week as a 1.32 favorite to win against Pampayak, and I knew he would KO him, and he KO'd him by head kick in the first round. Pampayak, he doesn't have a chin anymore, that's the truth. But Azadullah is a monster, a absolute monster. Azadullah, check him out by the way. Azadullah Imam Ghazaliev, you all will be impressed. He's a better striker than anyone you've ever seen. Of course, he got KO'd by Azadullah. I can't blame him for that. Everyone gets KO'd by Azadullah. Then he fought Aslam John Ortakov, and he also got beat by Aslam John Ortakov, but I thought Aslam John would KO him. I'm pretty sure he knocked him down, but I'm pretty sure Aslam John knocked down Dedouan Lek. But, well, he's an undefeated prospect from Uzbekistan, and it went to decision, which actually surprised me. And I'll give him credit for that. He didn't want to lose his chin. And he also fought Nakrob, who's a Thai savage also, and who I have a lot of respect for. He hurt me in his last fight. He lost for me in his last fight, but before that, he's been winning for me, and just making me lots of money. But so there's no shame in his last 3 losses. Truth be told, these 3 men are much higher competition than his upcoming opponent. In his ONE FC career, he has fought monsters. I think that it is time for him to get a win and time to get back in the winning column. Buakiao, this is not Buakao. This is not the Thai legend Buakao. This is Buakiao. Buakiao is not that good in my opinion anywhere, but he's been winning his last few fights. He's in the winning column because he's been fed the lower bracket of fighters. He has 80 wins and 26 losses throughout his career. He beat Petch Garfield, who is a weakling. He beat a man called Raxiam, who's also a weakling, and he beat Petwichit, who is a sniper fighter, but not a very good one. I've been wrong on Petwichit before when I thought that he could win. He is not a very good fighter, Petwichit, and I'm disgraced by him. Anyways, and he beat some unknown Polish fighter. But this should, in this scenario, be a underdog, because obviously I'm choosing the fighter that is in the losing column, Dedouan Lek, compared to the fighter who's in the winning column and got more wins in ONE FC, Buakiao. But I think that Dedouan Lek should win here. I think that he should be an underdog, and I want the odds to come out first. I haven't seen the odds yet, but when he comes out, if he's a dog, I'm 100% going to take him, as I'm pretty successful with my ONE FC dogs. Bout 12. This is an insane risk, I'm choosing Felipe Lobo here. He is better everywhere technically than Kulab. I think it's Kulab Dam. Yeah, Kulab Dam. But I'll tell you why in a minute, why I'm saying it's a risk. He's better technically everywhere, and he has insane KO power, Felipe Lobo does. He moves more fluidly, but he's not like a slip and ripper. But he moves more fluidly and has great KO power, but his opponent's nickname is Left Meteorite. And that's because he's a southpaw fighter, yeah? Who doesn't have that much technical ability, but relies on the left-hand landing. And if the left hand catches you, oh my god, it does some damage. It knocks out people. It knocks them out bad. It knocks men unconscious. He has crazy KO power, but I believe Felipe Lobo also has power too. I believe he may get dropped. And if Felipe Lobo does get dropped, is the thing. He might get dropped, yeah? And hopefully, if he gets dropped, it's in the earlier rounds. Because if he does get dropped, and he doesn't get knocked out, he will get back up and he will search for the KO. He won't play safe. He will search for the KO over Kulabdan. This is the one thing. I want him to not play safe this fight. If he plays safe in the beginning, he will get caught, and I don't want him to play safe early and get caught later is the issue. I want him to play heavy from the get-go and look for the KO. If he does that, goes bang to bang, he is the better striker and can find the chin of Kulabdan. But this is a big risk. But Kulabdan is more one-dimensional, relying on his left hand a bit too much since he has so much success with it. Felipe should be able to overcome this weapon of his. Sorry for the stutter, but it can go either way. Of course, this is the fight. This is the fight game, and well, shit happens, man. Last week, my fighter Ferrari Fairtest got robbed pretty badly in round. Like, he should have got the KO in round 2. I have a video of it on my TikTok. A man stepped in and well, the referee stepped in. Sorry, not a man. The referee stepped in and halted my fighter after he head kicked him twice and rocked him badly. Like, the guy was barely holding his feet underneath him, and Ferrari went in for a flying kick to his face, yeah. And the referee separated them, which made me really mad. But there is rigging in 1FC, and that ref was 100% paid off. He's also been paid off in another fight that I could mention later in this card. Now, to start off the one Friday card, sorry, not Friday, well, it's Friday over here in Thailand, was the time that it's going to be, the day that it's going to be, sorry. But for English and American fans, I believe it will be Saturday. Anyways, time for this card. The first fight has had an opponent change, and bout one was meant to be scheduled for Tagir Khalilov, who has fought Rodtang before and other quite good fighters. I've had him win quite a few times. He's never lost me. I've only ever bet against him when I needed a bet against him, like with Rodtang. But I believe that Hugh would have beat Tagir all day. It would have been easy for Hugh, the Japanese fighter that I would have picked on. He's undefeated, to have beaten him. He has crazy knees, crazy good striking, and crazy good kicks. He can throw kicks from a lot of angles. But now Hugh has had an opponent change recently. His upcoming opponent is a man called Jordan Estupinan. And Jordan Estupinan has never lost to me either. He has 2 fights in 1FC, one against a Russian, who he beat the fuck out of pretty well. And one fight against, who was it? Against Freddie Haggerty, the brother of Jonathan Haggerty. Now, this is the thing though. A lot of people are giving him a lot of credit for beating Freddie Haggerty. Freddie Haggerty is not Jonathan Haggerty. He is nowhere near the same skill or in the same league as his brother. Freddie Haggerty is nowhere near comparable to Jonathan Haggerty. That's the truth. And yeah, that's the harsh truth. I like Jonathan Haggerty, but his brother is not good. He had a close fight with a nobody. Hugh, anyways, Hugh is an undefeated Japanese prospect, and a good one at that. Undefeated for good reason. He's beat the fuck out of people. But his opponent change will make this fight more difficult because Jordan Estupinan has the size advantage over his previously scheduled opponent, Tagir Khalilov. Jordan Estupinan beat Freddie Haggerty as a 4 times underdog. On the same card, his brother Johan Estupinan was also fighting, and he won for me also as a 4 times underdog against Johan Ghazali, who's also fighting later. But that was an easy win because Johan Ghazali is not actually that good. Hugh, I believe, should win this fight. It's a kickboxing fight. As I said, Japanese are monsters in the kickboxing realm, and, well, this should be pretty straightforward. Well, it would have been more straightforward if his opponent didn't get changed from Tagir to Jordan, but I believe in Hugh. I think that Hugh gets the job done here, and it should not be too difficult. Jordan has holes in his game and a cardio issue. Oh, sorry. Bout 2, Macarena Aragon versus Natalie Salcedo. I've watched a bit of footage on her. I haven't been able to find much. She has 3 fights as what Topology says to me. But I watched those 3 fights. She works the submission game, but she's not that dominant when it comes down to it. And her opponents are not that high level. But she comes in as a very high favorite against Macarena Aragon, who I will admit I lost a bet on her last fight to win against a girl who was beaten by my also 3 times underdog Meng Bo, the first woman to defeat this undefeated Japanese girl. But anyways, Macarena Aragon is the better striker here. She has the size advantage here, and is a former kickboxing champion for women, I believe, or Muay Thai champion for women, yeah, in her country. But she is the better striker, in my opinion, much better striker. But the one hole in her game that she always has, she gets submitted really fucking easily. Even if she's dominating the fight, which she was dominating both the fights where she was submitted, she gets submitted. Last fight really annoyed me. She was I think a 5 times underdog, and she got armbarred when she was actually controlling the wrestler on the floor because her muscle size is pretty good. This is a woman's fight, obviously, by the way. And with women, I mean, you can be a smaller woman, yeah, and the better wrestler, yeah. But, well, the better wrestler, but you come against a big, beefy girl who doesn't care about your record, yeah. she will take you down and hold you. And she did take down the wrestler and held her there, but then got put in the armbar, which really annoyed me. But I'm taking Macarena Aragon as a 4 times underdog in this fight, and she should bring in the money, I believe. But it's a risk. It is a risk. And if I fail, I apologize. So if I were you, well, the fans of Basement Breakdown, it's up to you if you want to put some small money on Macarena in a parlay with one of my safe fighters. Oh yeah, by the way, Hugh went from safe to mid just because of the risk against fighting Jordan the Stupinan, who I've not actually seen lose yet. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get KO'd, but I think he should lose a decision. Jordan should lose a decision. The kickboxing gloves are better for Hugh. Anyways, on to bout 3. We have Johan Ghazali, the man that I was talking about earlier, that is not that good and not warranted to be a 1.2 favorite against anyone, or a 1.19 at that. Against Zachariah El-Jamari. The reason why they're giving him Zachariah El-Jamari is because Zachariah is technically the better striker. Like, technically, he has the better technical ability, but he has been knocked out too many times and does not have a chin. I would not bet Johan Ghazali here, because if Johan Ghazali does what he done in his last 2 fights, and he can't get his striking game going, he is going to get rocked. Well, I take that back. He won't get rocked. He will not get rocked. Zachariah is not the type of guy to rock anyone. But Zachariah could drag it out and go to the distance with him. It is only 9 minutes at the end of the day, and Zachariah is okay at slipping, but he will get caught. He will get pressured here and there. But I don't know if Johan can find the face. Johan's been fed a lot of easy opponents, which boosted his career up, and which is why they say he's good. Well, which is why people have him as a prospect. But he's only 18 years old, and his last 2 fights he showed to have holes. And I bet against him with, like I said, the brother of Jordan the Stupinan, Johan the Stupinan. They both fought on the same card as 4 times underdogs. He beat Johan Ghazali as a 4 times underdog, and yeah, that was pretty good damn money on that day for me. Anyways, Zachariah El-Jamari is a 4 times underdog. Johan Ghazali's already lost twice as a 4 times. Well, twice to 2 4 times underdogs in a row. I don't trust Johan Ghazali for shit. And if I were you, I wouldn't bet him here. But I think my prediction would be Johan Ghazali to win. But if you really want to, you could sprinkle a little bit of money on Zachariah, and he may get the decision gift. But I don't know. Next up, we have, for bout 4, we have Adrian Lee versus Tai Ruotolo. Now, this is the thing. Adrian Lee is an MMA fighter and has fought, well, not very good comp all year and always been a heavy favorite. But he's from, where is he from? I think the Philippines, maybe? I think so. But he's an okay fighter. He's an okay grappler too. But Tai Ruotolo is the brother of Cade Ruotolo, 1FC champion in, I believe, in his weight class for submission grappling and for MMA. Tai Ruotolo is the brother of Cade, like I said. He is not Cade. He's never had an MMA match. Cade is the brother that has MMA fights. So Tai Ruotolo will come in as a 1.56 favorite, or 1.46 favorite, I'm not too sure, against Adrian Lee. Adrian Lee is the underdog. I'm taking Tai Ruotolo here because Tai Ruotolo is technically he's much better at grappling. He the way he outgrappled Gary Tonin was pretty damn nice, and Gary Tonin's not a bad fighter either. But he's only had submission grappling matches. I don't know how he's gonna fare in an MMA match. But I will take Tai Ruotolo here because I think he should be able to submit Adrian Lee. And if not, yeah, he still trains with his brother, Cade Ruotolo, who has very good striking game too. A very good striking game, sorry. And Tai Ruotolo should be able to learn and adapt from his brother in that realm. Anyways, I got for bout 5, I have Rambo Lek over Dmitry Kovtun. Now, this is a fight that if you check the app like NetBet say, the odds are exactly pick'em, 1.85 as of right now for both fighters. But the reason I'm choosing Rambo Lek is, well, hold up, let me find out by research again. Rambo Lek is a savage and a Muay Thai savage. He was a previous Rajnamdan tournament champion before. He has a great KO win. This is the one thing he has, a great KO win over undefeated prospect Parham Gray, where he knocked him down 3 times and split his face open the first time. That was the first time I ever saw Parham Gray bleed. He looks as if he has upgraded from his last few fights, and even though he does have a KO loss, it's not that bad. He, in my opinion, is the better fighter than Dimitri. What's his name? Dimitri Kovtun, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, he is the better fighter than Dimitri Kovtun, but this is a risky fight. I put it as a risk for good reason. But there is a man who once KO'd Dimitri Kovtun, and his name is Nontachai. I had Nontachai to lose in his last fight against Abdullah Dayakev. Abdullah Dayakev is also a Russian monster and a man who I've bet a lot of money on, won a lot of money on. I also believe Abdullah Dayakev was robbed in his fight against Yodaku, which he was definitely robbed. But as I was saying, let's get back to this fight. Rambolek. I have Rambolek as he looks like he has upgraded in his last fight. And the man who KO'd Dimitri Kovtun in his last, well, not in his last fight, sorry, in a few fights ago, was a man named Nontachai. Nontachai he has a similar striking skill set to Rambolek, but Rambolek, in my opinion, is superior to, well, Nontachai. I think that he is superior. And well, if Nontachai KO'd Dimitri, then I think that Rambolek can KO Dimitri too. There are levels to Russian fighters in 1FC, and Dimitri is good. He's good and powerful and durable, but was sparked badly on the chin by Nontachai, very badly by a good cross. And what does Rambolek like to do? He has a good cross. Rambolek's got a good cross. But I believe Rambolek to be superior. This fight is in danger of being an upset, of having an upset, and I would hedge this fight as both men are 1.85 odds, and that's worth the hedge. If you make parlays, yeah, why the hell not? They're both the same damn odds. Bout 6, I have Akbar Abdullayev. He, in my opinion, is safe this fight. I believe Akbar will be a future 1FC champion, or has the ability to be a future 1FC champion. His opponent, Ibrahim Dawev, cannot wrestle. He can't wrestle for jack shit. Akbar Abdullayev, he's okay at wrestling. He doesn't prefer to wrestle, but he prefers to knock down people, then get on top of them and knock them out. But he can wrestle is the thing. And don't let his opponent Ibrahim Dawev, his 8-1 records, and just because he's Russian, don't let that fool you. He is not a savage. He is not that good. His output's not that high. He prefers to use his range and his sniping skill set, but he can't wrestle. He was almost submitted in his last fight multiple times and somehow managed to survive the submission attempts. I don't know how he was a 1.3 favorite in his last fight. Serious holes in his game, and he's shown to have them in multiple fights, not just one, in multiple fights. So I think Akbar's not dumb. I think Akbar's going to exploit those weaknesses, and well, he's going to show him the power and striking advantage that he has. He just needs to get around sniper range of his opponent, and in this fight, I see a possible KO if he does. Bout 7, this is the man that I've been waiting for to talk about. Shadow fucking Singer. Shadow Singer is safe. I've got him as safe. I mean, he should be pretty fucking safe. If he lets me down, I'll be so shocked. So fucking shocked. That's my boy right there. I love this man so much. He is an elite fighter. He is an up-and-coming savage. His last fight was a no contest because his opponent knew he would lose and gave into an eye poke which barely touched him, and he pretended he was severely hurt and couldn't see. And I had big money on Shadow, and it fucking annoyed me. It annoyed me so much. I knew the other guy would lose to Shadow. I knew he would lose, and I've had Shadow in every single fight that he's been in 1FC, apart from fucking hell, Geff just dropped on the floor in front of me. What was I saying? His last fight was a no contest because his opponent knew that he would lose, and he basically called quits like a little bitch. And I don't give a shit if anyone's fans of him. He's that guy that was called a no contest. He is a bitch. He's a bitch of an MMA fighter, a bitch of a 1FC fighter. So, anyways, what was I saying? In my opinion, he will absolutely fucking kill Bampara. Bampara had a close fight where he was losing 3 rounds down to I forgot his name. Josh something, I believe, yeah? He was losing 3 rounds down to him, and then managed to score an uppercut knockout in the 3rd round, yeah, which in the last few seconds, actually, as well. which manages to score him the victory after losing all the rounds. And that lad that he managed to beat is nowhere near the level of Shadow. Shadow would kill them both. I don't know how Shadow's a 1.57 favorite, to be honest. I think that Shadow is going to go out there and kill him, kill Bambara. I think he's going to KO Bambara. Shadow is a animal. He works and fights for his family to get them a better life, because they were not rich, but he bought a home for his mother, and anyway, he does this for his family. And I believe that he trains hard, really fucking hard. He wants to be something in 1FC. He is going to dominate Vampire by any means necessary. And his only loss in 1FC, like I said, is his debut. Is by getting dropped by a Russian fighter who is a good kickboxer and has good striking. But in that fight, yes, Shadow was dropped, but was making an insane comeback and outstruck him in all 3 rounds, actually. All 3 rounds. And well, they did not give him the win due to 1FC rules saying, not saying, but it's just how it is. If you're a 1FC fan, you know, if you get knocked down, you better fucking get a knockdown back, otherwise you're losing the fight. Anyways, Shadow was making an insane comeback and outstruck him all 3 rounds, but they did not give him the win due to that. And, well, he's 1.57 is all I have to say. Put your fucking money on him. And a safety parlay would be Shadow and Akbar Abdullayev on this one card. There are 2 1 cards this weekend, which is pretty nice. Anyways, I'll give other picks later. But that is a 2 times odds parlay. I already got a lot of money on it. Yeah. Bout 8, Jackie Buntan. I have Jackie Buntan as a risk. She is a woman, obviously. Her name Jackie Buntan. She has an impressive 28-6 record, but I don't trust any 1FC woman at all, and I've stated this many times. And her opponent, Stella, is a Polish girl. She has won for me as a dog in her last 2 fights, but her last fight, however, that was definitely rigged. Like I said about the refs and how they're paid off, well, in this situation, it wasn't a ref that was paid off. It was a fighter that was paid off. A girl was paid off to lose against her 100%. She got kicked. She didn't get kicked in the head. She got kicked in the armpit by Stella, and she dropped to the floor like she had been kicked in the head. She was not knocked out. She got kicked to the ribs and the armpit, and apparently now that causes your head to get rocked and for you to drop to the floor. She was kicked underneath the arm. Anyways, the woman dropped as if she had been head kicked, and the fight was clearly rigged for Stella to win. This is me saying that literally I had Stella to win, and I know the fight was rigged. You understand? It was definitely rigged. So rigging may occur here, and they may want Stella to be a champ. I don't know, because it's an opportunity to rob everyone that's betting money on Jackie Buntan. But I wouldn't take this woman. I wouldn't take Jackie Buntan. My friends think that she has a quite good chance to win. I don't take women fighters usually, because I don't prefer to, unless I see a good one. Like I had Scarface twice to win as an underdog in a row, which was very nice, and she was very high money. She was pretty good money for me. I have Meng Bo. Meng Bo is one of my favorite fighters. She was robbed in the last fight. Fuck Chatri, by the way. Fuck Chatri Sidiatong. Meng Bo was robbed in the last fight for it wasn't for a belt, but it was against a champion who went down a weight division. He had to fight Meng Bo. Meng Bo dominated her all 3 rounds, and she was robbed badly as a 3 times underdog. Meng Bo is the woman who beat Zhang Weili in her early career. That's why I have so much respect for Meng Bo. If you know who Zhang Weili is, you know that that's a very big feat. Anyways, I don't consider this last fight with women my prediction, as I don't like betting on women, but it's just out there in case any betting addicts want to actually bet. For the Commonwealth fight, I meant to say Commonwealth lost 2 times in a row as a favourite, not as an underdog. Also, and let's just bring it clear up, Ayad Al-Badr has 2 robbery losses on his record, where he beat the absolute fucking shit out of his opponents and got robbed.
Huge props to the gambling phenom for giving us these predictions for championship ones, the 2 fight nights. Super fired up for this, and I'll have my UFC Paris picks out tonight as well. So it's a lot of content, but and this is going to be a longer episode, but it's definitely worth it, and this guy gives some great insight. and we'll definitely be featuring his picks more on the channel. And yeah, hope everyone's having a great week, and I wish you good luck on your picks.